Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're moving the 3D printers to a new location in the shop and we're getting the new filament rack up. Let's get right into it.
Getting started with this, I'm just removing the T-track that I had used previously for my fence for both my miter saw and the radial arm saw over there to the left. Admittedly, I have a hard time keeping things clean and tidy. That is something that I am working on and have progressed quite a bit with this year, as you'll see in some of my previous videos. I'm just taking measurements here of this shelf that I'm going to use for my P1P and cutting it to length out of some old T111 that we used for the shop walls. For this, I'm just using my Wen track saw. If you're in the market for a budget track saw that just frankly works, I highly recommend this. I've had it for about 5 years and it's cut I don't know how many hundreds of slabs of 2-inch thick maple and cherry, as well as plywood and other things, and it just keeps going. I had to cut out that little corner there with one of my hand saws just to get it around that lip. And I'm just screwing it in here. As you can see, as I'm pressing down on there, it is a little bit wobbly, and some of you might ask, why wouldn't you just go spend a couple $100s and get one of those sturdy metal racks? And my answer to that is because I could buy another 3D printer for a couple $100. I could buy packing materials and filament for a couple $100. I'm a big proponent of using what you have until it becomes either unsafe or inefficient. And right now, for the amount of printers that I have, this works just fine. Alright, I'm just going to move the rest of this crap out of the corner, and I'm actually going to change the way that my standalone A1 Mini feeds filament. From the side there, if you have a full roll, once it finishes the print, it tends to unravel around itself, and then you have to manually be there every time you want to restart the new print, and it's kind of hard to get to in that corner. So having it above is just going to make things a little bit easier. Next, I drilled some holes for feeding all the cables through, and I'm running these on 2 separate circuits, so I'll have the 3 Bamboo Lab printers on their own circuit and the 2 Ender 3s on their own. And these don't take out a whole lot of wattage, so I could probably run 5 or so, depending on which printers they are on a single circuit. And just moving the P1P from where it was over to that new little shelf there. I had to have that P1P recessed down, otherwise it was going to end up interfering with not just that filament rack that's above it there, because that is going to be going away here in just a minute, but the new filament rack, I wanted to give it as much space above the printers as possible. And just running a test run. This will be the 3rd or 4th print on the Ender 3V3SE since I've done the maintenance on it. If you haven't seen that video, I'll have that linked in the description below as well as on screen here for you to go check that out. And we're just performing a bed leveling process and printing out one of the table saw push sticks that we sell on our Etsy shop. If you're interested in picking one of these up for yourself, I'll have a link in the description below.
Alright, I'm going to start on this longer wall here. I think we can get about 3 tiers of racks up and maybe 2 on the wall above the printers. I am going to wait to do the printer wall until the A1 Minis are finished up with what they're doing, just so I don't accidentally bump into them or get any sawdust on them. So the way that I have this arranged, all of this up on the top shelf is PETG, and all of this down here is my Rapid PLA Plus. Kind of gotten disorganized. I kind of ended up putting a lot of the empty spools up here, and the boxes are kind of just piling up above. We're just going to get up as many as we can with the supplies that we have.
Alright, after I got everything off the wall, I needed some filament racks. So I went on over to Printables and I spent probably 10 minutes or so browsing for the right one until I found one from ASDFG, and I'll have that link down in the description below. Alright, so I'm going to get this model on Printables. Alright, so I can fit 11 of the brackets onto an A1 mini build plate. So I figure I'll probably space them out every 16 to 18 inches. So I'll probably print this out 3 times, and we'll use around 900 or so grams of filament for these back parts. I'm going to get these sent on down to the A1 mini. I should be able to fit 2 of these at a time. Flip you 90 degrees. I'm going to print this with AMS4. Auto refill is on, and we'll send it on down to the P1P.
Alright, so I've gone ahead and marked out on the wall over here where the bottom of the first row is going to go. I'm going to get that up, and then we'll see how much space we have after we get the first row up.
And I just picked up these 4-foot long, 3/4 inch poplar dowel rods from the Home Depot. They were right around $6 a piece. I ended up getting 12 of them, and we ended up using 10 in today's video. One of the things I was looking to accomplish with this new filament setup is having the ability to reach that top row without getting on a step stool or a ladder. So I didn't want to put these too high up, and that is also the reason why I only chose to do 2 rows instead of 3.
Alright, well that didn't take very long at all. We got the filament rack up. I got all the printers moved over into their new location. I'm really loving how this one is looking. I'm able to store a lot more filament, as you can see, and it's a little bit more organized. We've got black down at the end, white, gray, and then some of the extras of the filament that's down on this shelf. I do have 10 more rolls coming, I believe. I just ordered 8 more blacks and 2 more of the gray, just in preparation for these dumbbell card holders that we'll be ramping up production on. With that said, the A1 Mini that I ordered last week should be in very soon, so we'll be getting that set up. Basically, I'm just going to shift the 2 Creality printers down one, and we'll stick it to the left of the P1P. So I have far less PETG than I do PLA, and that's just because I don't use as much of it. However, I do have a video coming out shortly where we test Elegoo's Rapid
PETG
against Bamboo's PETG HF. If you're interested in seeing that, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below, and if you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know you enjoyed the content. And if you have any tips or tricks that you use in your print farm, leave them down below, along with any comments about the things you saw in today's video. And until next time, everybody, take care.